y'all. Let's make some cottage witch hats, 2 sizes. Okay, so I am using Millens. It's like a number 4, 100% acrylic in a taupe color. I'm using a 5.5 millimeter hook in a adaptive foam grip. You can get this on the internet. Go ahead and make your slip knot. And then we're going to do 4 chains. Go back into the first chain and do a slip stitch. Okay, now you want to find that center in the middle of your chains. Put your hook through and then go over your tail all the way around using 8 single crochets to lock down that tail. Every stitch you've got to go around both the chains and the tail, because that tail is going to act like a magic ring and you can cinch it up nice and tight, but your chains are going to lock that ring so it doesn't get any bigger if the tail slips. Okay, so we're going to do 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, let's push it back a little bit. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. There's the 8th one. Gotta get under both of them. Okay. And just start your single crochets again. But before we go any further, let's go ahead and hide that tail. So you just take the tail. I put the loop out long so I don't lose it. And I'm just going to pull it nice and tight. Pull that tail real tight. So now you've got practically a little button. Now go over that last loop and then go under a bunch, and then just go over another loop, go over this loop and go back. Okay, then you go over this loop, go over this loop, and there, you've locked it down. Let's give it a trim, and we will save that little piece for later. Now we're going to turn it so that it is right side out. Let's get our hook back in here. Try not to split the yarn. Okay. So here we go. Got our 8. And we're going into the next one. Yarn up. Okay. Now we're just going to go into the back loops. So let's do that. Let's go into the back loop. Try not to split the yarn. And we're just going to go around and get this first row started. I guess it's technically the second row, because the first row went around the chain. But yeah, I'm just going into the back loop. And I'm trying to get the whole thing. It's very tight because I pulled everything tight. There's the back loop. I just gotta get it in there. Okay, there we go. Now, if you realize, I'm not worrying about starting and stopping. I'm spiraling. Okay, see how it's just, I'm basically making a thimble. In a spiral. Now we can start to increase anytime. Anytime you want to start that increase, you are welcome to do so. I've got a long piece of contrasting yarn I'm going to use as my stitch marker. And that's where I'm going to start. When you start doing your increases, you put 2 into that stitch, okay? And then put 2 more. Okay, and that right here, this one right here is your place where you put your stitch marker. So you do 2 increases side by side, 2 single crochets in this one, and then 2 single crochets in that one, and then this is where you start with the stitch marker. So I'm just going to pull it through so I know where that starts, right there. And I know sometimes it can be a pain having to manage all these little yarn strands, but trust me, having a running lifeline like this is really helpful because we're actually working on a spiral that is going to have like a ridge. It's going to cause the hat to twist and look real wizardy. It's just trust the process. You're only increasing once you hit that stitch marker. So you just keep going over these. These were your increased stitches, and now here you are on the last increased stitch. This is when you start doing your increases again. So 1, oops, and I did it over the whole stitch. I gotta do it under the back only, back loop only. Yeah, there's a lot of things to remember. Back loop only, and then do 2 single crochets in this one stitch in the back loop only. Okay, and then do another one. In the next stitch, you're going to do another increase. Okay. So this is where you want to put the stitch, your stitch marker. You just lay it over where you're going to put in that second single crochet. And voila. It's showing you where it is, right there. And you just lay it over, and now you're just going to do single crochets until you get around to that. There is an alternative if you want a shorter hat that gets wide to your hat band faster. Do a double crochet increase on both sides. Okay? You don't have to use the stitch marker on the, just go the opposite side, wherever your stitch marker is sticking out. When you do your single crochets, just eyeball it right there, okay? That's the opposite side. Go to that point and then start doing your double crochets. And always put your double crochets or your 2 single crochets into the same stitch. So I haven't done it yet here, so I don't have to worry about putting it in a special place. I'm just starting it by making it right across. So right here is where you would do your 2 single crochets, not a double crochet, 2 single crochets right here. Okay, that's 1 increase, and then you do 2 again in the next one. Okay, and you can do another lifeline in a different color if you want to, and then this is the stitch that you would put that other lifeline in right here, because it's 2 and 2, and you put it on the last one, and then you just do single crochets going around until you get to this one. All right, now you're going to start your doubles again. 2 single crochets in this stitch, 2 single crochets in the next stitch. Okay, now just lay it across, lay it across, and make your next lifeline, your next stitch marker, because that's where you're going to start. You start your increases where you left off. So here they are. There's 2 here. Trying to see where they are. Where are they? There's 2 here, and there's 2 here. So this is the one. This is the one that you want. 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, it's very easy if you just do these, I call them lifelines. 1, 2, 1, 2. Now you don't have to do both sides. You can just have one spiral. It'll make a very tall hat with a more gentle spiral. But this is how you increase. And then go to half your hat band. Whatever your hat band is, mine is 22 inches for a gentle fit. You don't want it to stretch. So like 21 is if I want it very tight around my head and have the fabric stretch. I don't want that. 22 is the gentle band size. So it's not going to distort it because you don't want it to stretch out. You want it to sit on your head fairly comfortably. Okay, so this is where we start doing our increases. And the last one, lay it over the yarn. You go back into that same place and continue moving your lifeline up the rows. And like I said, you can skip the increase on the other side if you want to. You don't have to. So here's the 2 and the 2. So this is the one that you're going to put it in. you're going to start over here. I personally really liked having the shorter, squashier hat. It just felt more, I don't know, fairy cottage witch hat. That's what it felt like to me. Okay, so I finished my doubles, or my increases right there. It's, you know, it's whatever it is that you want it to be. I just wanted to show you how to start, and then you can just continue on, and it will end up looking like this. And I'm going to stuff it so that it keeps that twisted shape. But yeah, it causes it to be very squishy. So I am very happy with the progression of the brim. I will tell you what I did is I found my circumference of my head, the hat brim, for me, which was 22 inches. So when I laid it flat, I knew I had 11 inches across. And that's where I stopped, right there. That was my last increase in the spiral part. Okay, and then this was 11 inches. And then I did 3 rows without any increases. It was just 1-to-1 single crochets in every stitch. And of course I'm doing all back loop. Okay, back loop only. I like this little ridge. So once I got past those 3, and I felt like that was enough to hold on, you know, like to give you a hat brim, this from here to here, 1, 2, 3. Then the very next row after that, when I got to this point, because I'm still considering this like my start, this the end of this running lifeline stitch marker. Okay, so right here I did 8 single crochets, and then I put another single crochet in that 8th one. Okay, and then I did that all the way around. Every 8th stitch I put 2 single crochets in that one stitch, in the 8th stitch. The next one I did 10 single crochets, and in the 10th stitch I put 2. And then after that I did 12 single crochets in the next row, and in the 12th single crochet I put another single crochet. So it was 2 single crochets in the 12th stitch all the way around. And the next one was 14. Okay, and the next one was 16, and the next one was 18, and this last one I had, no, I'm sorry, and then I did 20, and then the last one I did was 22. So I've done all these stitches, 2 more for each row. Okay, so that's what the brim looks like now, nice and flat, and I'm really happy with it. So start with 8 and put 2 in that. Okay, it's probably going to fit you just fine. And look how flat this brim is. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to stuff this hat with the with bags, because I've been saving plastic bags for years and years. I just pulled out my running stitch marker, so that's done. You can still see where it was, because it has a very nice spiral pattern. Okay, so let me go get my bags and I will meet you back, and we'll start stuffing this baby so it stands up. Okay, so I've got my bag of bags, and don't judge me. I keep my bags, I don't toss them in the landfill, but they are from having a delivery of groceries, because all during the pandemic and before that, and even to this day, I get groceries delivered when I'm feeling sick. If I'm too sick to go out, that's what I do. I get groceries delivered. And they've now switched over to delivering in paper bags, but for the longest time, they only delivered in plastic bags. All right, so we're just gonna stuff this with, and I'm gonna use a chopstick and just kind of poke it up in here if I can. Doesn't have to go too far in because, I mean, look at this. It's holding its shape real well. You don't want to stretch it out too much. But yeah, just a little chopstick will help you get the plastic bag up in there. You can use cotton or fiberfill if you've got it. You want to use that. I'm just going to use a plastic bag because it's real light. It's even lighter than a bunch of fiberfill. Okay. And I've got to kind of unroll my bag because when I store them, I put them in all rolled up tight so I can get more in a bag. Okay. Looking good. It won't be too lumpy. See that? And if you want to, you can, curve the hat a little bit, just kind of play with the spiral. Just kind of go with it. This is 22. I opened up a paper bag because I have tons. All right. And let's do 23 inches. Yeah. Sorry, this actually feels more like cardboard at this point. It's very stiff. Now let's mark off 22 inches. Yeah, it's right at this fold. So one of the things I did is I put it together upside down, like it's going to go on this way, but I folded it this way, like that. Okay, I'm using Elmer's wood glue because I can't find my regular glue. So just put a little bit in here. Okay, and I got these wonderful little kitty cat clips from my friend Lisa. Aren't they sweet? I am on the fence about stuffing this or leaving it squishy. Okay, so it fit. Okay, so I'm going to take the paper bag handles that I've cut off the paper bags and unrolled, and I'm going to go ahead and wrap the hat band with the paper bag handles. They remind me of corn husk, so you can use any kind of glue you want. This is just the glue that I had on hand, and it works fine. I'm just going to speed it up here, and if you want to see it at regular speed, just go to the little gear icon in the corner of your screen and just slow down the film. But it will keep going until I'm finished with this, and then it'll slow down when I'm finished wrapping and gluing the paper. Okay, we'll just let that dry. One, two, three, there's four. Just squish it in the middle. Nice and tight. So the primary cuts go a little deeper than the secondary cuts, just so that I don't accidentally chop off a petal. So these are the primary cuts. They go deep. And these are the secondary cuts, just to give it a more feathered look. And you cut as much as you want. Cut it however you want. If you have pinking shears, that would be nice. You can just have some like scalloped or ridged edges. I'm just doing it a little more primitive. Okay. Now let's take the yarn and just, wrap it. It's kind of sticky and it reminds me of vet wrap. If you know what that is, if you've ever dealt with that. Okay, so let's tighten this up. Just wrap it a couple times and cover up that end. I would like to cover up that end, get in there. Okay. Okay. Like I said, you could use some glue if you want to make it, stay. I'm still putting pressure on the yarn so it doesn't unravel. There we go. There we go. Get it through again. But yeah, just a little dot of glue will probably be good to hold it down. And now we fluff. Fluffy, fluffy, fluff. Okay, so I have let this dry. This is the hat band. I didn't stuff the hat yet. I thought I would wait and do that after. But this is actually nice, and I mean it's pliable, but it's also sturdy. So that wood glue actually worked really well. So now I'm going to decorate the hat with some flowers. Okay, so I bought some flowers at Michael's. They're having a sale, and they have some nice fall flowers. So I bought a bush, a pick that had a lot of different types of flowers in it. That way I could mix and match. I bought a pick of oak leaves in this nice taupe color. And I'm trying to take these flowers apart without destroying them. So I will meet you back once I'm done taking these all apart. Okay, so I am going to set up with the glue gun items that won't stay put. These guys I just poked through the fabric. This flower and this little vine that has it growing up the side. Now I've got a flower pick that I, wrapped all these bits together. So it's ready to go as soon as the glue gun is hot. So here's the glue gun. Ah, there it is. That's the first bead of the glue gun that I just bought. Okay, I just wanted to glue that end down because it felt like it was slipping. Now I'm just going to tuck this in. So I'll just lay it in there on this hat band. And that's where I want it to be. So I'm going to put a little glue on the inside. Right here. Move the hat for now. It's getting in the way. There we go. Got a little bead of glue right on the inside. I'll just tip it up. You can see the glue right next to it. Okay. Now I'm just going to hold it, blow on it, and just hope that it holds. All right. Going down the spiral here, this is where I want it to end. In like it's coming up out of this flower arrangement. And if you want to, you can stiffen the brim with spray starch. That works really well. I'm just going to bend these guys back. But they're glued to the hat band. This little bunch is glued to the hat band. And I'm just going to add this little guy. I think I'm going to cover this with the tape that I just bought. That's this. It's called florist tape. It isn't sticky until you stretch it. It's very odd, like that. So I'm just going to cover up that yarn. Just cover it up. And then I'm going to cover this bread tie that I used. You florists out there, don't judge me. I haven't been using these floral skills for a long time. Ah! It just got caught on something and then unraveled like 3 feet. Okay. Now I'm going to put that. I'm going to add this one leaf in here. Just put some glue on it. Get my cobwebs. And I wanted it right here. I probably should stuff this hat, but I don't want to take away the option of wearing it right away. Just stick that right there. Okay. All right, so this one is done. It just needs to dry and cool down. So we've got a couple of pieces to put together here. I've already wrapped them. Excuse me. And this one is a swag. These two pieces were individually wrapped and then wrapped together. And then I just have two loose bits of oak leaves. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put the swag onto the band. And I'm just going to hold it against the band like that. Here's the other bunch that I made, and I intend to put this in like at an angle. Right there. And then this little guy I want to put right here. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And remember to crochet your way today, because it's the only time we have. Take care, and I'll see you next time.